The political issue that I choose is the corruption, because into the most common political issues that happens in the Philippines is corruption. Corruption defined as dishonest or fraudulent conduct by those in power, typically involving bribery. Many incidents result in corruption as a result of a desire for money. The examples are low levels of democracy, weak civil participation, and low political transparency, as well as the killing of political activists, community leaders, and human rights defenders because they are fighting against. In the Philippines, poverty unequal. Both political power and economic resources in the hands of an elite, marginalization, and poor governance are all factors that contribute to the conflict and violence. In the economic approach, when it comes in business, corruption can affect everything from license to contracts to lawsuits. Corruption means that business deals often contain hidden prices. Competition is not what it seems, and partnerships are chosen for the sake of the expediency rather than quality. In a nutshell, corruption increases inequality, decreases popular accountability and political responsiveness, and thus produces rising frustrations and hardship among citizens who are then more likely to accept or even demand hard-handed and illiberal tactics. Corruption can be defined as any abuse of position of trust in order to gain an undue advantage. This involves the conduct of personalities on both sides, the two person who abuse his position of trust as well as that the person who seeks to gain an undue advantage by this abuse. Corruption does not stop at national borders, for multinational organizations also continuously bribe government officials for major business, awards, and contracts. Corruption usually occurs because of some individuals are willing to use illicit means to maximize personal or corporate gain. However, in order for these individuals to become involved in corrupt activity, circumstances must exist which do not prevent or discourage them from doing so. One of the most examples of corruption is extortion, characterized the infiltration or legitimate business when organized criminal groups to try to force payments from individuals or businesses using threats to avoid worse and then fair treatment. Generally, extortion statutes require that a threat must be made to the person or property of the victim. The nature of the threatened harm varies by jurisdiction, and it can include bodily harm, damage to the property, damage to the reputation, criminal accusations, or abuse of public office. Second, tax evasion. A society that is more corrupt may enable more tax evasion as corrupt officials seek more income via bribes. Conversely, higher levels of tax evasion may drive corruption by offering more opportunities for the bribes. Tax evasion is also considered to be corrupt behavior itself. However, in this paper, corruption is taken to be a bribe taken by government official, and tax evasion is defined as an illegal act to avoid paying taxes by violating tax laws. Increases the size of the self-employment sector. The average size and the productivity of self-employed businesses. Moreover, the economy with tax evasions produces higher aggregate savings and more output than economy with perfect tax enforcement. Negative impacts on the economy and the welfare of society. One of the impacts is the fall in government revenue, which can lead to higher tax rates, negatively affecting firms and households. Primarily through their impact on demand. Tax cuts boost demand by increasing disposable income and by encouraging businesses to hire and invest more. Tax increases to diverse these demand effects can be substantial when the economy is weak but smaller when it is operating near capacity. To stop this and other forms of cross-border corruption, there should be global solution to this plight. In addition, for any country to succeed in fighting corruption is cooperate and coordinate with others. To this end, governments have to adopt global and regional anti-corruption conventions.